beneath a shell of ice, miles and miles thick, out in the pitch black of deep space, there lies an ocean.
A truly massive ocean.
Yeah, one that contains more liquid water than, well, all of Earth combined. And tonight, we are going there.
It really is a profound thought,
Yeah.
to realize that the largest reservoir of potential life-giving water we know of isn't bathed in warm sunlight.
Right.
It's actually hidden away in absolute undisturbed darkness.
Usually when we start this deep dive, we come in with a lot of kinetic energy.
We do. We tend to move pretty fast.
Yeah, exactly. We take a stack of sources, we break them apart, and we race to build them back together so you can carry that knowledge out into a chaotic, fast-paced world.
But tonight is different.
So different. Tonight, we are doing something radically different. We are powering down the machinery.
Completely powering it down.
The emails are answered. Or, well, they aren't. The to-do list is put away. Our mission right now is to gain profound peace, but slowly.
Very, very slowly.
Right. We are going to explore the text called The Silent Cradle of Europa, along with decades of astronomical data, but not just to learn.
No, the goal is to use the actual physics of this distant frozen moon to help you, the listener, drift into a deep, uninterrupted sleep.
It's a vital shift, I think, in how we consume information.
Oh, absolutely. We spend our waking hours navigating just a relentless stream of stimuli.
Yeah, constantly on the go.
Exactly. The mind becomes this tightly coiled spring. You are constantly analyzing, constantly reacting to everything around you.
And the brain really requires a counterweight to all that, doesn't it?
It does. It requires absolute stillness to consolidate memories, to heal the body, and to simply exist without demand.
So tonight we are honoring the architecture of silence. We will absolutely explore the fascinating astrophysics of the Galilean moons, but, well, we will do so at the pace of a drifting comet.
Yes. Allow the space between our words to be spaces where you can simply rest.
I want you, wherever you are listening to this right now, to just settle.
Just let go.
Let your jaw unclench. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breathing slow down to match the cadence of our voices.
We are going to leave the noise behind us.
Yeah, let's start with the departure. Our journey begins at Jupiter before we even reach Europa.
Because to understand the profound quiet we are heading toward, we first have to understand the sheer volume of what we are leaving.
Right, because Jupiter is not a quiet place, is it?
No, not at all. It is the absolute antithesis of quiet. Jupiter is a gas giant characterized by immense, violent kinetic energy.
It doesn't even have a solid surface.
Exactly. It's just an atmosphere of hydrogen and helium that is thousands of miles deep.
Wow.
And when we look at Jupiter, we see those iconic, swirling orange and white bands. Well, those are storms.
Huge storms.
Massive turbulent systems of ammonia ice clouds. And they're being whipped around the planet by jet streams that reach over 300 miles per hour.
And the Great Red Spot, that's essentially a hurricane, isn't it?
It is. But on a scale that defies human comprehension. It's an anticyclonic storm that has been raging for hundreds of years.
That is just wild to think about.
And it is large enough to swallow the Earth whole.
Wow.
Yeah, the pressure inside Jupiter's atmosphere is so intense that deep down, hydrogen gas is actually compressed into a liquid metal.
So it's an environment of crushing gravity, deafening atmospheric roaring, and chaotic friction.
Very loud. Visually, physically, and electromagnetically.
Okay, so let's unpack this for you listening right now. Think about Jupiter's swirling orange clouds in those 300-mile-per-hour winds.
Just visualize that chaos.
Right. Think of them as being exactly like the loud, chaotic thoughts at the end of a deeply stressful day.
That is a perfect comparison.
You know that feeling when your mind is just a storm of unread emails, tense conversations, things you forgot to do, anxieties about tomorrow?
It forms a dense, heavy atmosphere in your mind.
Exactly. Sometimes closing your eyes just feels like staring directly into the Great Red Spot.
It really does. The psychological weight of a busy life mimics the physical weight of a high-gravity environment.
Right, you feel it in your chest. So what we're doing now, what the science allows us to visualize, is a physical act of untangling.
We are leaving Jupiter.
We are firing the thrusters, and we are pulling away from that massive gravity well.
And as you drift outward into the vacuum of space, leaving those swirling storms behind, the text describes the destination ahead.
Yeah, it calls it a beautiful, glowing pearl made of pure ice.
Floating in a universe that is completely calm.
The transition there is just stark, isn't it? And scientifically beautiful.
It is. As you move away from Jupiter, you enter the pure vacuum. And in space, There is no medium for sound to travel through.
So the roaring of the Jovian atmosphere just instantly vanishes.
Exactly. Instantly gone. There's no air resistance. There's no friction.
You transition from a state of intense, heavy pressure to a state of complete weightlessness.
The text actually notes a fascinating physiological response to this distance.
Oh, yeah, I remember this part.
As the proximity to Europa decreases, the heavy weight of the world lifts, and your breathing naturally slows to match the quiet rhythm of the deep cosmos.
I have to admit, just the phrase, quiet rhythm of the deep cosmos, it makes me want to take a deeper, slower breath right now.
Me too.
And you should too. If you are lying in the dark, just notice the rhythm of your own breathing. Let it slow down.
There is no rush out here.
Out here, over 400,000 miles away from Jupiter's storms, there's absolutely no rush. There is no friction. You are just drifting.
It is a wonderful application of astrophysical reality to human physiology.
How so?
Well, when you leave a heavy gravitational pull, your muscles no longer have to fight to keep you upright.
Oh, that makes sense.
The tension in your spine can simply unspool. The text invites you to experience that weightlessness mentally.
To feel the literal burden of gravity just float away into the silent dark as we approach this pristine, untouched white pearl.
And as we gently drift closer, the details of that glowing pearl begin to resolve.
Yeah, we transition from the silent approach through the vacuum of space to actually making physical contact with the surface.
We finally touch down.
And the landing is completely soft. The text describes the environment here perfectly. It says, there is no wind here, no noise, and no distractions.
It is perfectly still.
Beneath our feet is a smooth white crust of ice. And it's marked by these incredible features.
Glowing blue cracks.
Yeah, the ones the text calls silent rivers.
To truly appreciate the serenity of this surface, we have to look at the architectural safety of Europa's ice shell.
Because this isn't just a thin layer of frost.
Right. No, not at all. The data we have gathered from the Galileo spacecraft suggests this ice crust is anywhere from 10 to 15 miles thick.
15 miles of solid ice.
It functions as a massive planetary shield.
Wait, I have to stop you there and push back a little on how the text frames this.
Okay, what do you mean?
Because the author calls this surface a warm, protective cosmic blanket.
Yes, that's a very specific choice of words.
And I think anyone listening would intuitively associate a 15-mile thick block of space ice with harsh, biting, terrifying cold.
That is the natural human assumption, yes.
We think of shivering or, exposure. So how can we conceptually frame deep space ice as a warm blanket? That just feels contradictory.
It's a brilliant question, really. And it speaks to the counterintuitive nature of thermodynamics in space.
Okay, help me understand that.
To understand why it's a blanket, you have to look at what it's doing. In our daily lives, our environments are highly permeable.
Right, the walls of our houses are thin.
Exactly. Sirens bleed through the windows. The blue light of our phones penetrates our resting spaces. We are constantly bombarded.
So true.
But Europa's ice shell is the ultimate insulator. Space itself is a vacuum, slightly above absolute zero. But beneath that ice is an ocean.
And if that liquid water were exposed to the vacuum of space?
It would instantly boil away and then freeze solid. The ice is exactly what traps the internal heat.
Oh, wow.
It preserves the warmth of the ocean beneath. It acts as a miles-thick barrier against the harsh, chaotic radiation of the solar system.
Ah, okay, so it redefines what the ice is doing. It isn't something that drains warmth. It is the very thing that protects and preserves it.
Exactly. It keeps the inside safe.
I love that. I want you listening to really internalize that feeling right now, whatever covers you as you rest.
Your sheets, your blankets.
Yeah, imagine they possess the absolute impenetrable strength of that 15-mile thick ice.
Nothing from the outside world can get through it.
No emails, no alerts, no stress. It is keeping the chaos far, far away while trapping your own warmth right there with you.
And returning to your earlier point about the silent rivers, those glowing blue cracks.
Yes, this sounds so beautiful.
Europa's surface is covered in these long linear fractures called linea. What is truly mesmerizing about them is the physical mechanism causing that soft glow.
Yes. Why do they glow? I mean, is it bioluminescence?
No, it is far more ethereal than that. Europa is constantly bombarded by high-energy electrons trapped in Jupiter's massive magnetic field.
Okay.
And when these invisible particles strike the surface of Europa, they interact with the chemical salts embedded in the ice, specifically sodium chloride and epsomite.
Wait, sodium chloride? Like just regular table salt?
Exactly like table salt.
That is amazing.
The salts absorb the energy from the radiation and release it as visible light. Because of the specific chemical composition of Europa's cracks, they literally glow in the dark,
Wow.
emitting a continuous, soft, ghostly blue and green luminescence.
That is just staggering to picture. Glow-in-the-dark table salt, painted across a vast white canvas, caused by invisible magnetic energy.
It is one of the most serene visual phenomena in the solar system.
And the text calls them silent rivers. And it makes perfect sense now. A river on Earth implies a rushing sound, you know?
A loud flow of kinetic energy eroding the rocks.
Right. But here, the rivers are frozen in time. They offer all the visual beauty, all the sweeping curves and the glowing blue light, but without the roar of rushing water.
They are rivers of pure silence.
Pathways of light that demand absolutely nothing from your auditory senses.
Because there is no wind to howl across these plains, there is virtually no atmosphere.
It is just so still.
There is no shifting of tectonic plates in the way we experience on Earth. There is only this soft, continuous blue glow of the salts reacting to the quiet energy of space.
You are perfectly grounded on this impenetrable shield.
And because you are so grounded, so safely anchored on this miles-thick protective layer, you finally have the safety and the stillness to just look up.
Yeah, the text invites us to shift our gaze from the smooth ice beneath our boots to the dark, velvety sky above.
And what we see hanging there is arguably the most breathtaking view in the entire solar system.
Giant Jupiter filling the horizon, painted in magnificent bands of cream and amber.
The scale of this view is something that requires a moment of genuine pause to really comprehend.
Let's try to picture it.
If you were standing on Europa, Jupiter would appear roughly 24 times larger in the sky than our moon appears from Earth.
24 times larger. That is almost hard to conceptualize.
It completely dominates the heavens.
Usually when humans are confronted with the immense, crushing scale of the cosmos, the reaction is existential dread.
We feel tiny, yes. Insignificant.
Exactly. But what's fascinating here is that the text and, well, the reality of the physics curates a feeling of extreme calm instead.
It positions Jupiter's massive size not as a threat, but as a majestic, comforting anchor in that velvety sky.
How does it act as an anchor, physically?
It acts as an anchor because of a phenomenon known as tidal locking. Just as our moon always shows the same face to the Earth, Europa always shows the same face to Jupiter.
I've always wondered how that actually works. Why doesn't it spin independently?
Well, over millions of years, the massive gravitational pull of Jupiter acts like a brake on Europa's rotation.
A break, okay.
Yes. It pulls on the near side of the moon harder than the far side, gradually slowing its spin until its rotation perfectly matches its orbit.
So they're completely synchronized.
Exactly. The result is that one side of Europa is permanently facing Jupiter. Therefore, if you're standing on the surface on that side, Jupiter doesn't rise or set.
It doesn't move across the sky at all.
No, it simply hangs there, permanently fixed in exactly the same spot, an eternal silent guardian.
So what does this mean for you, resting right now? It means you are held in place by something beautifully grand and completely reliable.
Something that will never leave your view.
Imagine looking up into the dark and seeing a sphere so impossibly huge, painted in soft, warm colors of cream and amber.
Taking up your whole field of vision.
But it isn't looming, it isn't moving away, it's just watching over you. You don't have to hold your world together right now because this massive, silent giant is holding it for you.
And we really must consider the optical illusion of peace that occurs from this vantage point.
What kind of illusion?
Jupiter rotates incredibly fast for a planet of its size. A day on Jupiter is only about 10 hours long.
That is fast.
So those atmospheric bands are whipping around the planet. But because it is so enormous, and because we are observing it from roughly 400,000 miles away in the deep quiet of Europa, its spin feels completely tranquil.
It moves with a glacial, majestic slowness.
Yes. The human eye cannot perceive the violence of the storms from this distance. We only perceive the slow, graceful turn of a beautifully marbled sphere.
It essentially becomes a visual metronome.
A visual metronome. That is a beautiful way to put it.
If you are lying there, visualize that giant sphere turning so slowly. Those bands of cream and amber just lazily shifting.
Let the beating of your own heart slow down to match the pace of that turning planet.
Let it be a gentle nightlight. The dark, velvety sky offers no harsh glare.
There is no flashing.
No, only the muted ambient glow of Jupiter reflecting off the snow beneath you.
It is the visual equivalent of a whisper. The albedo of Europa, its reflectivity is incredibly high.
It acts almost like a mirror.
Almost. It reflects more than 5 times as much sunlight as our own moon. So the surface around you is bathed in a soft, continuous twilight, entirely provided by the amber reflection of the giant above.
You are entirely safe under its watch. And from that beautiful whispered glow of the sky above, the text guides us to turn our attention to the great mystery.
Yes, to what lies beneath.
Because the smooth ice we are resting on isn't just a surface, it is a roof. It's a ceiling protecting the true wonder of this moon.
We are now going to explore the sanctuary below.
The hidden, deep ocean.
This is the moment we move from the external visual beauty of the cosmos to an internal, profound state of quiet.
The text states, deep beneath this thick, protective sheet of ice lies a massive, warm ocean of absolute quiet.
It describes miles and miles of pure, undisturbed water that is sleeping in total darkness.
Sleeping in total darkness, the imagery is just so heavy and relaxing.
It really is.
But I need to ask the obvious question, the one I'm sure our listener is thinking about right now.
Go ahead.
We established that the ice is 15 miles thick because space is freezing. How on Earth or how on Europa can an ocean beneath it be liquid,
It seems impossible, doesn't it?
let alone warm? The sun is hundreds of millions of miles away. It provides almost no heat out here.
It is a brilliant puzzle, and the answer is the secret to Europa's entire existence. The heat doesn't come from above.
Where does it come from?
It comes from within. And, ironically, it is caused by the very same giant that hangs so peacefully in the sky, Jupiter.
Wait, how does Jupiter heat an ocean from 400,000 miles away?
Gravity. Europa's orbit around Jupiter isn't a perfect circle. It is slightly elliptical like an oval.
Okay, I'm picturing an oval.
This means that sometimes Europa is slightly closer to Jupiter and sometimes it is slightly farther away. As the moon moves closer, Jupiter's massive gravity pulls on Europa, literally stretching the entire moon.
Wait, stretching it?
And as it moves further away, the moon relaxes.
The physical rock and ice of the moon is actually stretching, like rubber.
Yes. The solid surface of Europa bulges by up to 100 feet every few days.
That is mind-blowing.
This continuous squeezing and stretching of the moon's core creates an immense amount of internal friction. Think about taking a piece of dense dough and kneading it vigorously in your hands.
Ah, the friction of kneading the dough generates heat.
Precisely. This process is called tidal heating. The friction inside Europa's rocky core generates so much thermal energy that it melts the inner layer of the ice.
Creating the ocean.
Yes, creating a massive global ocean of liquid water. At the very bottom of this dark ocean, resting on the rocky seafloor, there are likely hydrothermal vents.
Spewing warmth and minerals into the water, just like at the bottom of Earth's oceans.
Exactly like that.
So let's create a connection here, just for you listening. The surface might be frozen and quiet. The vacuum of space might be harsh.
But deep inside, there's something entirely different.
Protected by miles of impenetrable armor, there is warmth. There is a fluid moving life force. Think of that thick, protective ice crust as your physical body right now.
You are tucked safely into bed.
Your blankets, the walls of your room, they are your protective shell. And that hidden, warm, dark ocean resting beneath the ice, that is your mind.
That is a wonderful analogy.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, the surface of your mind might be battered by storms.
Yeah, you might have to deal with the radiation of stress.
The impact of unexpected problems, the noise of other people's demands. But down deep, beneath the surface, there's a place that is entirely untouched.
A place of profound stillness. The text says it is the most peaceful place in the solar system.
Because it is so deep, it is untouched by sunlight.
It is untouched by sound. For billions of years, this water has remained undisturbed.
Undisturbed for billions of years. Just let that sink in.
I want you to literally visualize that feeling. Let your awareness sink down, past the white surface of the ice.
Past the glowing blue cracks.
Down through miles of silent frost until you slip into that warm, heavy, dark water. Let your mind dive into that deep, quiet ocean.
Feel the weightlessness of the water supporting you.
The concept of undisturbed water is incredibly potent for relaxation, isn't it?
It is. Water, when agitated by wind or currents, reflects the chaos around it. It forms crashing waves.
But here, trapped in total darkness, free from wind, water becomes a perfect suspended medium.
To let your mind mimic that undisturbed water is to let the ripples of the day finally smooth out.
You know when a lake is so still it looks like black glass?
Yes, perfectly still.
That is your mind right now. And beneath that glass, there is only depth. Down here, in the dark, there is no need for vision.
There is no need for hearing.
There is only the sensation of being held warmly and safely. No thoughts, no worries, just pure aquatic rest.
With the mind safely submerged in that quiet warmth, the final tethers of waking consciousness naturally begin to let go.
You don't have to force sleep.
No, you simply allow the environment to absorb you. This brings us to the culmination of our journey.
The text beautifully blends the physical details of Europa with the bodily act of falling asleep.
It states, "The light of Jupiter faintly glows as we close our eyes on this silent ice world.
And then it introduces a fascinating concept.
The gravity of your thoughts has completely faded away."
The gravity of your thoughts. That is a stunning way to phrase it. Because thoughts do have gravity, don't they?
They absolutely do. They pull at us.
We have physical mass in our bodies. An anxious thought about a meeting tomorrow can feel like a lead weight in your stomach.
A stressful memory can feel like a heavy pressure sitting right on your chest.
They pull us back to reality, yanking us out of sleep. But here, on this moon, floating in this deep ocean, the rules of gravity have changed.
They have entirely changed. The surface gravity on Europa is only about 13% of the gravity on Earth.
13%.
Yes, if you weighed 150 pounds on Earth, you would weigh less than 20 pounds on Europa.
Wow.
The text is using the literal physics of this moon to grant you psychological permission to release your burdens.
In the absence of heavy gravity, things simply float. Without the gravity of your thoughts pulling you down into the tedious details of tomorrow, your consciousness is allowed to become weightless.
The text reinforces this beautifully by stating, "You are floating in perfect comfort, safe and warm on Europa's frozen ocean."
And then it offers the ultimate liberation. A sentence I want you to truly absorb.
What does it say?
The text says, "There is nothing to do and nowhere to go."
There is nothing to do and nowhere to go. It is the ultimate permission to surrender.
It really is. We spend our entire waking lives doing, striving, moving, navigating.
We are engines of constant action.
To be told definitively by the quiet of the cosmos that action is no longer required is the key that unlocks deep rest.
The universe is operating perfectly without your intervention.
If you are listening to the sound of my voice right now, let those words wash over you. Really hear them.
Let them settle in.
Right now, in this moment, there is absolutely nothing you need to achieve. There is no destination you need to reach.
The emails will wait.
The problems will wait. The day is definitively done. The massive universe is quietly turning around you, and you are safely anchored on this silent world.
You are floating in perfect comfort.
The text leaves us with one final instruction, doesn't it?
It does. It says, "Drift away now. Let the cosmic pillow guide you into a deep, beautiful sleep."
A cosmic pillow. The entire environment of Europa, the miles of smooth, insulating ice, the warm amber glow of a giant guardian planet, the deep, dark, warm ocean beneath you.
It has all been constructed as a place for you to lay your head.
It is soft. It is supportive. It is infinite.
Allow any remaining tension in your jaw to unhinge. Let the muscles in your neck release.
Feel the weight in your shoulders dissolve into the quiet dark. Unclench your hands.
We have traveled a long way tonight.
We started in the noise. We left the loud, swirling orange clouds and the violent storms of the day far behind us.
We drifted through the calm, still vacuum of space, feeling the weight of the world lift.
We touched down safely on the smooth, white ice of a silent world, watching the invisible energy paint glowing blue rivers across the frost.
We rested under the warm, amber glow of Jupiter, watching it slowly turn like a grand clock winding down.
And finally, we sank down past the protective ice into the warm, dark, absolute quiet of a hidden ocean.
And as you continue to float in that undisturbed darkness, drifting further from the waking world, I want to leave you with one final, gentle thought to explore.
Yes, let's share that final thought.
We have spent this time analyzing the immense peace of Europa, a celestial body that has cradled an endless warm ocean in perfect, undisturbed silence for billions of years.
Billions of years of peace.
But remember this, the mind that can conceptualize this peace, the mind that can imagine this distant moon, is the very same mind that contains it.
That is so true.
If a distant moon, bombarded by the harsh realities of space, can maintain such profound restorative depths of peace at its core, just imagine the depths of peace that already exist within you.
They are there. They've always been there.
They are simply waiting for you to quiet the surface and dive in.
The X-ray machine of the waking world, with its frantic need for sharp lines, bright screens, and immediate answers, is powered off.
It is completely off.
We are resting in the beautiful, murky, quiet waters of sleep. The storm is hundreds of thousands of miles away.
You are safe.
You are warm. There is nothing to do and nowhere to go. From both of us here, as the amber light fades, we wish you a deep, beautiful, and cosmic sleep. Good night.